Hello everyone. For today's recipe, we will be making bibimbap. I use vegetables I had in hand, however you can use any veggies of your choice. The main ingredient that you will need for sure is going to be sesame oil. I am peeling my ginger using a spoon. I find it easier than using a peeler or a knife so you don't waste anything, and you can always use the skin or any leftover for some tea. I'm slicing them as thin as I can, then I'm stacking them to julienne them, which is cutting it lengthwise similar to matchsticks. Then I'm cutting it as small as possible, giving it a rough chop so I can have them minced. Now with the peppers, I used 2 peppers. I cut them in fours. I trimmed them and took the seeds off. Julienne then cut them in half, but you can always leave them as long strips. For the zucchini, I cut them in half. I used a mandolin. Make sure it's not too thin or too thick. After the first 2 slices, you can always adjust it. I slice up until I see the seeds, then move on to the other sides. Most people don't care much for the seeds, so if you're one of those people, you can always slice it all in one straight shot. I stack, then julienne them. Now, if you don't have a mandolin or scared to use one like I am, you can always use a knife, slice, stack, then julienne. With the onions, cut the head, cut it in half, remove the ends, and slice away. For the carrots, I peel them using a peeler. Now, just like the zucchini, I will be using either mandolin or knife. It's up to you. Just don't forget, slice, stack, then julienne. For the broccoli, I'm just taking off some of the stems so I can have small, beautiful florets. Now onto the seasoning of the ground beef. You can use any protein of your choice. I let it marinate for at least 30 minutes. I will be using épis, which is made up of garlic, scallions, and parsley. I add 1 tablespoon of ginger, 2 heaping tablespoons of épis, 1 tablespoon of mirin, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of my mom's homemade chili oil. Mix it up and put it away. I will be using Korean chili paste and sesame oil when I am ready to cook the ground beef. My ratio to cooking white rice is always 1 to 1.5. I always wash my rice until the water is clear. In a pot, I add 1 tablespoon of grapeseed oil and 1 tablespoon of épis. I cook it on low for about 1 minute so it doesn't brown. I add 1.5 ratio of liquid, which equals to 2 cups of water, to 1.5 cups of rice. You can use any liquid, water, vegetable, or chicken stock. Put the heat on high, let the water come to a hard boil, add a pinch of salt, and put your rice in. Now, it's very important to pay close attention to the rice while reducing the water. Let it do its thing and stir occasionally. When the water is halfway through, add 2 tablespoons of butter, stir it in, and continue to let it reduce. Once the water line has reached the rice, stir one last time and steam it for 15 minutes. Once the meat has marinated, I add a tablespoon of oil to the wok. If you don't have one, a large nonstick pan works the same. I add a pinch of salt as well as a tablespoon of gochujang, which is Korean chili paste. I break up the ground beef as much as I can so I don't get any big chunks. Let it cook until the juice has reduced and it starts to sizzle. Towards the end, I add a tablespoon and a half of sesame oil. Then I will transfer to a bowl. Now for the fun and quick process, cooking the veggies. For all the vegetables that I have, I will follow the same exact process. I add 2 tablespoons of oil to the hot wok. I cook the vegetables, adding a pinch of salt. After 2 or 3 minutes of tossing the veggies around for even cooking, I add a tablespoon of sesame oil. Sesame oil has a low smoke point, so I add it towards the end for its nutty flavor. I will repeat this process for all my veggies. For my onions, I repeated the same process as all of my vegetables, with the exception of adding a pinch of ginger for some extra flavor. For the broccoli, I add a tablespoon of épis and 2 tablespoons of water to let it steam, and I repeated the same process as all the other vegetables.
Alright, so I hope you guys really enjoyed my video. I'm gonna try it out, make sure it's good. And usually with this, most people eat it with a fried egg over it, but we already had eggs today, so I don't want to eat too much. It's really, really good. My Korean friends would be proud of me right now. It has a little bit of ginger in there. You can't really tell. It picks up a little bit. All the veggies are nice and crunchy. Seasoned. You taste the sesame oil. Not too strong. It's really, really good. Well, I hope I see you guys again.